Hello, this is a Silver One Junker Queen review. The post on this one mentions that they felt the game was pretty much in control, but they still ended up losing. So they wanted to go into the reasons why. And I watched this once. The first reason is your early deaths, which you mentioned. So we're going to go more in depth into those and things you can do better instead of just saying you shouldn't have ran in here. And the second one really came down to ultimates. Your ultimates, your whole team's ultimates were either not very good or they were done in desperation when everyone was dead. And while the other team comes in at 90% multiple times, they come in together and use two ultimates and crush you. But this isn't a team VOD review, so I'm just gonna focus on the things that you can control.
Hard enough for ya?
How's it going?
Hard enough for ya?
So we're starting, we're looking, seeing what they have. And the first thing that sticks out to me is you haven't used a knife yet. If you're looking for other things besides shouting and going all in, some things to do is just fish with the knife. It's a 5-second cooldown, and it can set up a shout play. So the Ash and the Soldier are both good knife targets. If you get either one of them, then you can shout and axe them and go all in. And that just puts things in your favor. You've shouted and gone in, and this map is pretty narrow, so they're all looking down the same hallway. You're going to take a lot of damage, and so the first thing to add to your game is more knives. Try and pull people in, get an advantage, bring them to you instead of you crossing the area. The second one is just be okay with holding this area. You've already done a decent job as tank getting them here because they can't see anything. Eventually, one of your teammates will stand on the point. I know you said it was a mistake to go on the point. Not necessarily. Ideally, it would be someone else because tank's so valuable, and you're keeping them all out. But just take the small win, and if they're scared of you and back up and you zone them out, that's fine. You don't always have to press the issue. You can be happy with them giving up the map and you controlling point, and that's going to come up later. So you go in. Not only do you take a lot of damage, you send a signal to your team to go too. And this Briggs ride or die. She's just, oh, we're going. We shouted, we're going, and honestly, those are the types of teammates I want that'll go in when you go in. but you chose a bad time to go in, so you kind of sent people to their deaths. So I just want you to know that you don't always have to go for those plays. You can take a little space, hold it, look for an opening, throw knives. Just add that to your game, and I think it'll really help. But the point does still pressure them in. If someone else on your team did it, you'd be keeping this Soldier and this Kiriko out, which is why Zetter was one of your team. But just taking point is still a good play. And it's going to turn into sort of a brawl because of the early Brig death. But we'll keep going. We're going back in. We're going to see. And you say forward, but I want you to, whenever you get some free time or you're close, I want you to do a look back. There was a vortex here, keeping your supports out. The Genji's still coming. The Cassidy's almost setting up a flank. He was running here. I paused a little late than what I wanted to see because when you shouted, he was still coming out. So they're all still coming out. Again, you can fish for knives early on. Try and get an advantage so that you pull them in and then shout. Also, it just helps to be going at the same time as your teammates. It can be as simple as that. So it's going to be another case of you getting slapped in the face by 3 people. And also, if you knife the Ash in, then even with her coach gun, she can't get away. But if you run at her, then the coach gun's enough. But you notice you sort of make your own play independently too soon. Then you gotta back up, beg for healing. Now Genji's here, and he's making his play. So, I mean, you were a distraction, just the timing was probably 3 to 5 seconds off. Had you done this together, it would have been a pretty guaranteed win. Now it's a little sloppier. The Genji gets some good swings though. So, and you get a good hit on Soldier.
An opera in space.
And if someone that comes in that close, of course, get him. Good job. But this is good, just good ultimate and good fragging, so. Let me go back. The one thing.
One by one. Come on.
It's you chase the Echo, which she's mobile, but ordinarily this is a good idea. You don't want them to be able to all touch together at 99, so it's good to go for it. But no knife again. It's just it shows you've got a ways to go on actually using your abilities and knowing what Queen can do. This should have been a knife here for sure. And she ultimately does get to come in at the last second, live, touch, get a trade, so that really hurts because over time, if you trigger it, it's 3 seconds, so it's going to end up being everyone coming in with the ultimates, like I mentioned.
No one can stop me.
And it's a bit nitpicky, but you could have maybe gone for the Kiriko and other people are coming. You could have ran up here instead of focusing on the Ram, but the core thing is you let the Echo touch by not even trying to knife. And these are really good ultimates. They're coming in together, so I mean, it's nothing you can do here. So we'll go to the next spot. Okay, this is your big ultimate. You got the Alim on Soldier. You get Zen, and I know you want to get the last hit on Zen. I'd still be going for shots if you are here.
All hail the Queen!
But eventually you have to let it go or just try and shoot him from here, because the Discord Orb's going to stay on you, and this is something I didn't learn until late Diamond. You don't always have to get the Alim. Sometimes as a tank, if you can push him back, you got the Moira, you push the Zen back, these guys will just be in a field healing each other, and at that point they're not helping their team. If they're just in a field healing each other, I'd recommend just coming back. You can say, enjoy being in this field, guys, bye, and take the 4v2. Or yeah, 4v2 with the Soldier. So you've still done something good as a tank. You got your elimination, you backed up the supports. Now just take the space and hold it instead of going all the way for the elimination, the extra elimination. And with you down, this is what I was talking about with the ultimates. Is he's getting swarmed at this point, so it's a desperation ultimate. If you were still alive, you and the Ana were still alive. I don't know, the Lifeweaver's up here. You could have got the clone out. Then it turns into a different fight. But as it is, you die. The Soldier's ult turns into a desperation ult. They're gonna come in later with good ults and steal another fight for you. Flashpoint's quick. It's like 2 fights a point. So if they use good ults on a few fights, that's a third of the game. But we'll go to the next fight. Okay, I wanted to mention another two things on this one. You want to do another look back. I know the Hanzo got a pick, but your Lifeweaver, your Iliari, your Soldier, they all need 5 seconds. So wait for them to go in together. And 2, you don't have to use your shout. I know you're thinking it's time to press the advantage, but you're going to want the shout for when the fight actually is breaking out. You're giving yourself extra health and speed when you should really be waiting for your teammates, and you don't need the health, so it's... But you can do this without the shout. Just fish for knives, push up slowly, wait for your team. Okay, now your team's here, now you shout, now you just run at these two idiots and wreck them. Pretty straightforward. But this is good peel. If he goes in this deep, you can kill him, so good job. And if you were more defensive-minded, having the shout a second earlier could have helped your Hanzo too, instead of the one you used much earlier. But I think this is going to be another case of just... Yeah, this is such a good ult by Moira to close it down, so it really comes down to ultimates. On a third of these fights, the other 2/3 we're going over things. But they're just more organized and had the good Moira ult. So we'll go to the next point. One of the 2 fights on this point was you dying early, so it would be fine if you won the last fight, they come in at 99, flip it, and then you guys get another fight. So feeding on one of the 2 points is huge. But on this second fight, there was really nothing more you could have done. So we will go to the next one, and on this one, I had that you went to aggressive. It's good to go aggressive. You want to fight for this point, not give it up for free. But had you done another look back, where would you want to stand? You've got the Iliari, the Lifeweaver. It would be this corner, or you can stay where you are now. But as soon as you cross here, oh, it's unfortunate the Cassidy had to get pulled. But there's nothing. There's no help. It's you versus the world. And I know the Zen's juicy, but if he's next to 3 of his teammates, it probably won't go well. I mean, you still force the ult, but he keeps himself alive, so I'd argue that's still a good ult. He's going to basically bait you in for the cost of 1 ultimate and get a kill on the tank. And that's sort of a panic. Oh no, Queen's about to die. Queen did something dumb. Save her. And you LOS the tree. He probably should have just put the tree on the corner, but you LOS the tree, so you have to just be mindful of where your supports are, for when you're making plays. This wraparound started a chain of events that ended up losing. So still be aggressive, still fight for the point, but in range of your team and your supports. And that's rough. That's another one of the 2 fights you're gonna get on this point, but you do get a big ultimate next fight and actually win this point, so that was good. Okay, and we're going to go forward and give an example of a better shout. So your teammates won't always be in front of you where it's simple, but if you're looking back and notice they're with you, shouts like this where you guys are close together, near a killable target, This is good Junker Queen all day long.
Let's go.
Shout you guys in, get the elim, you guys working together. That's what Queen's all about. It was either you using your shouts too soon or you going in too soon without waiting for your teammates. So I just wanted to give an example of where you were doing some good Queen play. And now we'll go to another bad one. And for the record, this one didn't even matter because your Reaper decided to completely feed for no reason. So I'm just using this as an example. It was your teammate's turn to feed one of the points. But you can knife and axe him without shout. You don't need the health. You don't need the speed. Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff. And your soldier got picked too, but just because you did this twice before, I'm pointing out the early shout. And now would be a good time to shout if you wanted to. Really, 2 teammates are dead. You should be running away, but the Iliari used her ult. It's another bad ult, so you kind of have to go in at this point. And you'd have a chance of turning this head if you had shout, because she wants 50 HP. You want the HP. And once you charge in as well, it's good to start with an axe. The knife is more for picks, but if you can always get an axe, that's 100 health through the bleed damage, which you're going to want. You did it late, and your corpse is being healed for 200 now, because you got a double axe. But if you start with the axe, the healing actually goes to you. And then the game ends with
Nah.
another sort of hero play. Oh.
Time for the reckoning.
And this is really risky. Your teammates trolled their ultimates all game long, but this was sort of your time. You only have to win one more fight to get the point, so I would recommend just coming back with it. And even now, you still have a chance. You've saved yourself with the ultimate, and you're getting healed. I would just see this Reaper and probably... It's so hard to do, but just jump up here. Take the map control, wait for your team. Because in third person, it hurts to watch your teammates. Oh no, everyone's fighting. Everyone's fighting. If you were just set up in a good spot on here, they're like, oh, we're almost there, we're almost there. And it ends up being another desperate ultimate that doesn't work from your team. And this was your whole team, of course, not just you. But I hope I gave you some things to think about as far as fighting with Junker Queen. You can be aggressive, just look for your teammates, use your shout better and probably later. And more knives, of course, because that'll give you better openings and to actually go in. But there were a few good combos this game and good eliminations, so if you add those things to your mechanics, which are pretty good for silver, I think you'll definitely climb. So good luck.